Hey, good afternoon. You are listening to KPCA LP, Petaluma, California, 103.3 FM and online at kpca.fm. This show is Let's Make a List. I'm your host, Phil. This is the show where we talk about pop culture things like TVs, movies, books, video games, other things, and we make lists and talk about our choices. Today, we have a very special guest. You know her from this show. You know her from, she was graduating class at Sam Moran High, 1974?
Oh, five.
But you left, you were done early. Oh, one
Still
semester
75,
earlier.
so it was January.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was pretty close.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My name is
That's the show.
Kathleen.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
That's the toughest part about being a host is remembering to actually say the person's name that is on the show. So yeah, today we're going to talk about movie remakes. I think on a past show we've talked about, I can't remember if you were there, movies that we wanted to become remakes, I think, or movies that would be good as remakes. I'm not sure though. So I don't think we've done this topic yet. If we have, it'll be different.
We've done trilogies, I know that. So
We've done franchises. I don't know about trilogies,
right.
though.
You are correct.
Trilogies count as franchises, though, if you think about
lying
it that way.
So much today already.
You're doing great.
America.
A couple things I wanted to say. This Sunday is the Petaluma Progressive Festival at Walnut Park here in Petaluma. KPCA is going to have a booth there, so come by and say hi. And we'll be broadcasting live, I think, from noon to 2 or 2:30, something like that. So, yeah, maybe you can come be on the radio if you want. It's pretty fun. Dennis, I think, will be the one behind the mic. He's a good guy. Easy to talk to.
Nice.
Yep, I agree. All right, so before we get into movie remakes, I have a little bit of information about mine, too. Nah, not really. A little bit. This is something that I bring up political stuff on this show a lot recently, and one of the reasons, there are three reasons. One is I feel like talked about some, and it's community radio, and we make the rules. And
is
we
that
break
one
the
reason
rules.
or is that four reasons?
That's one.
Okay.
And then you look I only have my thumb up. I don't have my other fingers up yet.
I was helping
Second reason.
the listener.
Yep.
Which I'm not doing, obviously.
Yeah, listen to your ears and your eyes. Second reason is because I think it's important. Third reason, well, let me go back to the second reason. I think it's important and because we have this avenue thing of getting information out to people. I think you should say it. Method avenue thing. Mm-hmm. And third reason is politics and pop culture are very intertwined now. Very much. I think more than, at least in my lifetime, I've been alive for most of the time. So like, here's an example of politics and pop culture meeting. There's a thing that happens in LA, a convention called Politicon that's been going on for a few years now, I think. And they have people from the left and the right and all over the political spectrum there. And it's kind of like Comic-Con kind of thing, but it's smaller scale and it's all political related. And they have comedians, they have radio and TV personalities, they have politicians, things like that. And they set up debates and panels and stuff like that. I've watched bits online and some are kind of interesting, but they're also, they bother a lot of people because they'll have people that are totally opposite political spectrum, opposite sides. Then they'll debate on something and it's like neither side is going to really listen to what the other one's saying. And it's basically just, hey, people who are interested who like politics and like the actual debates and the talking about it and stuff, maybe less so than what the actual issues are and stuff. I'm guessing a lot of people are interested in all this stuff, but it's kind of framed now. That's how a lot of politics is framed, I think, with a lot of mainstream media and stuff. Even though I don't watch much, the bits I've seen and read about, it's more about the competitiveness and the sport of the whole thing, where people, it's not a new idea, but people treat politics like they're like a sports team. And they go like, oh, I'm loyal to the Giants. You're an A's fan. Oh, you suck. And then they do that. And then when they're debating that, they get like really like animated. And then they're done with that. They go,
thanks for coming.
Yeah. And they don't really care. It's like people go, I have my brain's going to go all over the place. I'm going to try to every once in a while go back to this what I'm trying to talk about, which is politics and pop culture mixing and meeting, and if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And we're talking about where people treat it like a sport, where they get passionate about it, but then in the end, it's not really something that they care about that much in a way, you know what I mean? And they don't see the actual real world consequences and from it. So people will say they like it when there are people on different sides of the political spectrum who will debate, but then they can still be friends. And I go like, if you have, especially now where the far right and the far left are so different, and if you have people who are actually passionate about those things, I don't get how they can be good friends. You know what I mean? I honestly don't see that if they actually care about the issues.
Yeah, rather than it just being a hobby to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it's become, where it becomes this, a lot of people, and I think a lot of mainstream media and stuff, because it's entertainment and stuff, I'm saying stuff a lot. It is something that the talking about it and the debate and the arguments are totally now separate from what actually is going on in a way. In not all the time, but in many places. And so people don't take it seriously. And I think it just is a lot of, I don't know, like it results in a lot of things not actually changing and getting done. And so kind of the reason I brought this up is, do you think, this is a question I don't know what side I'm on yet, if it's good that pop culture and politics are so mixed, because the good things are that we want people to talk about these issues and be informed. So if it's out there more, there are people who talk about it more and there's more information. Bad thing is it's framed in a way where it is framed in the same way as entertainment is. So people don't always view it as actual life-changing, important topics. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the people who are interested in stuff, they don't necessarily feel and see the changes. Like for us here, even though it is constantly in the back of my mind, just our country and the government, and just constantly it's something that is a stress and a worry and concern. I don't notice many things in my personal life outside of if I lived in a bubble and I didn't pay attention to what was going on in politics, my life I don't think has not changed significantly from the things that have happened over the last few years. It has for a lot of people though. And so that I think is people people who have access to the information and have a voice that people listen to, I think it's their, I guess I say responsibility. It's the right thing to do, I think, is to be informed. And even if you aren't actively out there, talk to people and stuff, just at least try to be informed in a way so when you make decisions like what you purchase and protests you go to and shows you watch, you do it in a way that is consistent with your views. Yeah,
I have noticed the changes. Here's the thing. I've never gone oh, I'm afraid to go outside because I might get attacked or spit on, or
right.
Because I blend in with the world, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the world anyway, where I live, which is a very small part of the world. But now I'm noticing that I don't get spit on and I don't get attacked. And the thing is, I'm noticing that I notice that I'm not afraid. Like I'm not one of those people that, if I see a cop or an ICE agent, I'm not afraid. I used to not notice that.
Oh, I'm aware of the fact. Now you're aware of your privilege in a way.
Yes, yes. And that's a change.
So you're saying this whole presidency is a good thing because it's opened your eyes.
That's right. But another way my life has changed though is my group of social. The people I hang around with has changed because I cannot just sit around and do regular life things.
Exactly.
With people who are.
I know
that it seems cold and uncaring to me and so I can't be around somebody who can just go like, oh, let's talk about small things when their government is doing such horrible things to the environment and to other people and to other countries.
Right.
So there is that change. And so the pop culture, I don't know. Well, pop culture is just culture anyway. It's just the current culture, right?
Right. But I guess, yeah, I've talked about this past episode. I'm not quite sure actually how to define pop culture, but I think of popular as in, I guess what's popular, because I feel like their presidents, like Bill Clinton, was pop culture and stuff, and the saxophone playing, all those things, and the monofluency stuff all became pop culture. But then there's certain things in politics where right now I feel like aspects of it, like the war that's going on in Yemen and a lot of the arms deals that are going between the U.S. and people in the Middle East and stuff, Saudi Arabia, that's not pop culture. That is news, but it's not really. It's not one of those. It's not one of those things that people talk about in a way where it's a fun thing to talk about. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I was viewing it.
It's almost like I'm wondering if, like, beating up people in front of a mosque, is that pop culture right now?
Right? Yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
Because they'll put it on some sort of social media, and people go like, "Yeah, perfect, you did it right, and aren't you cool?" And I don't know. I'm trying not to say dumb stuff, and so dumb stuff is coming out of my mouth.
It's things we have to also, because it's pop culture stuff. Pop culture, like if it people will talk about it more, which is good, and I think this is why I'm torn between, because I think we have, because to talk about this stuff more, we have to accept that people like myself definitely are, I'm going to say stupid things that are accidental, or they're going to be misinterpreted, or I'm going to say it and go, that's not what I meant. Why did I say it like that? Or, oh, I was uninformed on that one thing.
Misinformed even.
There we go. And so what I think part of it being something that people are open to talk about, there has to be more acceptance, not necessarily people's beliefs, I think, but in a way, but more acceptance of hearing people out, and more acceptance of people taking maybe a while to get to where they're going to, what they're trying to say, and letting people think things through. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to take sound bites and go, this is what they said, this is what they meant. And it's like, well, no, you have to always take things in context. I'm going all over the place right now, but it's a weird thing where it's like, is it good that, I'm going to use this example, even though now it's not really the thing, but like probably 15 years ago, it'd be like, if something in the late night TV shows, if it would be in the monologue, that would be a sign that shows that that's part of the what's the word I'm thinking? Zeitgeist or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word, but just what people are thinking about it.
That's a ghost that you can hear and see, right?
Are you thinking of
that's right.
Poltergeist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that word you said, so that's why. Yeah.
So it's a weird thing where I'm like, I don't think you were on the episode where it was a few weeks ago. Aaron and I were talking about Tom Arnold, and he's doing that show on Viceland about finding like the Cohen tapes, and it's really easy to dismiss it and go like, oh, it's just a thing to get ratings and make money and whatever, and does he actually have good intentions, or is he just trying to make money off of this? And you could say if they actually had information, why didn't he just go to the police or the FBI or whatever? And then you go like, maybe this is, in current days, this is how you get information out. This is how you do stuff, because everything is for profit.
Yeah. Well, also, even without the profit part, which of course is a very important part, that is how the information gets out.
Yeah.
I mean, like the president tweets, that's how he gets his information out. He doesn't have press conferences. I don't think he's had any, has he? He's had a few. He's had a few when he has I'm sorry, he has had several.
But it's been
but they're usually with the president of another country.
I don't know if they're like considered press conferences or what exactly.
They're questions that are thrown at him. Okay. But anyway, so that's completely different from the previous president.
Yeah.
So that is pop culture right there. And so I think with Tom Arnold doing that, my guess is he had the idea and then went with the TV show, or just said, "Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make this into something." Rather, I think my guess is he went from a thought of, "There's got to be more tapes out there. Let's make this into a phenomena, or a TV show, or whatever it's going to do." Rather than, what can we make a TV show out of?
Right. And
but I don't know, of course.
But there's a chance also where it's like, oh, this isn't going to get attention unless it's a TV show or a podcast.
That's
or
how people
a
get
movie.
their information. Yeah.
And it's weird, and I don't. It's so like I remember when like Facebook was starting to get popular and politicians had Facebook pages and everyone was going like, everyone, but a lot of people going, why does Obama have a Facebook page? That's weird. Why does Hillary Clinton have a Facebook page? Like, what? No, you're a politician. And then now it is, that's just one of the ways to promote and to brand yourself. And it's just interesting to see what is. I just don't know if it's good or bad. If people are more informed now, or if they're more people are there. I think it's a combination. People, more information, people know because they're talking about it more, and it is a form of entertainment, is news, but there's a lot of misinformation, and the way that it's framed, I think a lot of people are consuming a lot of information and news, and because they are reading about it and stuff so much, they probably think they're really informed. And then like myself, I try to be, but I know there's a lot I don't know, and I'm not nearly as informed as many people, but I think a lot of people then think that they know everything that's going on because they go, "Oh, I read about Trump and stuff all the time. I know what's going on in politics." And it's like, it's
hard to get in-depth information.
Right.
That's the thing. You can get a lot of superficial information.
And exactly. And so is that, do you think good or bad?
Probably bad. But here's something I thought of when I was driving up here today.
Okay.
I was thinking about, oh God, it just slipped my mind. Just a second. Oh, I know.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I listen to a lot of political stuff, and I'm thinking it's like part of me actually enjoys the way the world is right now. I realized because from an entertainment point of view, and I realized that's kind of what you're talking about.
Alex Jones is such a good host.
That's right. And then I went, except for what's so weird, it's kind of like, when there's a car accident or something, I look away, I don't want to see it, and I realize that. Some people say, "Oh, it's like a car accident. You can't not look at it." Right. And then I realized with this, it's like, am I looking at a car accident? And then I realized I'm in the car accident. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went, holy cow! I'm actually part of the accident. Mm-hmm. I'm part of what's the horrible stuff that's happening, and I'm still looking at it from the outside. Even though I feel it, it's something I got to remember that I'm part of the damage.
Yeah.
Anyway, pop culture.
Yeah, but I like the car accident analogy. I think of it more of like I don't want to look at car accidents either because I'll just see something I don't want to see and it'll be stuck in my head, and it's not like I can do anything about it. With this, when I like to see that these things are brought up, that people talk about and reveal all this horrible stuff that's going on, because then it shows that at least some people care, and there's that hope that things will change if more information gets out there. And you want to see people who are actually trying to get information. You know what I mean? So it's like true crime things for me, where I don't like to read about the murders and stuff necessarily. I like to read about how the people are caught, how the investigations go, just the things kind of around it that in a way
how things were covered up.
And in a way to go, oh, this is how things can change and improve, so maybe this kind of thing won't happen again, or things, you know what I mean, or won't be the same. Yeah. So do you think one thing they could? Here's another question. So I think a big part of that is so much media, mainstream media, is all for profit. There's just all these stations, everything that is trying to make money, and obviously there are a lot of people there that do have integrity, but I think that no matter what, there's, for most of the 24-hour news stations and stuff, it's always through that filter, and there's always going to be making money as a part of it. And there's things where they're, even if they're not going, I'm going to leave this out on purpose, they will go, this is the kind of thing that works in this 2-minute segment, so I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? So things are always going to be changed some. That was really rude.
I turned my head.
Okay, that's fine then. But the thing is, like, we don't want, like, state-sponsored media isn't, like, the way, like, we have NPR and stuff. We have things that are like, public broadcasting, but then I don't know what a different version of us getting the news could be and should be. There's, like, BBC and everything, but then, like, I'm scared of government having control over, even though they do it in many ways already, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be better.
Yeah, it's like, and newspapers are still owned by someone.
Yeah.
And they're still going to publish things. I mean, I think newspapers are basically a good thing, but they're still going to be customized so that more people buy it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that are, and honestly, I get bored with reading a lot of stuff that is not written in a way to entertain, you know, and it's tough. It's one of those just things that just is, that's the nature of humanity, I guess. But
well, that may be the pop
tough.
culture part, that they need people that are charismatic to deliver the news, because then you're more likely to listen.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they have to pay them more, and then they have to sell more ads and like that.
Yep. Yeah, it is weird. We'll get to the list soon. I think that's one of the things about why, while I detest Fox News and I hate it with a passion, I think one of the reasons, besides just like it's so much negativity they push, I think a lot of it might be that their personalities talk like people, even though they're people who a lot of times are
talk like people.
You know what I mean? They're people that they I don't think they, like, MSNBC is like this too, but different side, where I think there's some, like, Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes and so many people, but they're able to speak, and they doesn't just seem like they're just reading off of something, and they're able to actually show opinions and stuff. Yeah. And I think Fox News has that, even though I think it's in a horrible direction. This isn't a compliment. This is me going, I think that's one of the reasons why people are entertained by it, because it's not just the dry stuff a lot of times. You know what I mean? And, like, people will talk about these people, like Bill O'Reilly he was a good entertainer and stuff. I'm like, he didn't entertain me, but you know what I mean? It's that kind of, where they don't seem, I don't know, I'm going off topic now.
Well, it's kind of like we're so lazy, we want to be in a conversation without having to do any of the talking.
Exactly. And it feels more conversational with some people, and it's easy to manipulate people with that way also.
Got to learn to listen, though. That's the thing.
What?
You got to listen with a mind that is what's the word? Jesus, when you got to actually test what they're saying.
Critical.
Yeah, but that's not
thinking,
the word anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. I should write down all the words that I know, and then I can go back and look at the list.
They publish books like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Books.
Yep. Might even find an app. Search, like, word database online.
Cynic. You got to be a cynic.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, that's something that I think about a lot, where I go, should politics be pop culture? Should it not? Is this good? Is it bad?
The one thing about it being pop culture is there's more people, even if they're listening just one side, they're paying attention to politics.
Yeah.
Whereas there's, like, there's some people now that they right now are not, they don't have an opinion, and it's like, that just makes me, like, flabbergasted that they don't have an opinion on what's going on right now. It's like, how could that even be? And then you go, because they're not paying attention. It's kind of like, I have a friend that doesn't go to movies. She doesn't even really watch them. It's that's like, okay, that's just who she is, But politics it affects your life more.
Yeah. But I would rather someone not know about stuff than watch Fox News or, like, InfoWars. You know what I mean? Things like that. I think that is just where it's just like, oh, you should get some exercise, or, like, do you rather have someone just sit on the couch, never get exercise, or go outside and beat people up all the time
for exercise?
You know what I mean? It's like, well, I want them to sit on the couch and not do anything. You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
So that's a.
Well, to top this off, I think I think the American flag has become a pop culture thing too, and it's kind of like, to me now, when I see somebody who has a a flag in their yard that I actually have an opinion about them.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, look, there's an American lives there. It's actually where it used to be like, oh, they have a flag. Oh, they don't have a flag.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's weird.
Yep, and then there are people who are also wanted the flag to actually mean America and not mean.
Oh yeah, I
other
wasn't.
stuff.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just saying it's weird how
yeah.
that actually makes me feel something that I wished I didn't.
Yep, exactly.
I wish I had no
I agree.
feelings at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm
All
getting
right,
there.
all right.
What's happening in Petaluma today? I know it's not the right show for that, but I always like that that segment.
Oh, it's not bad. There are some shadows. I see part of a car park. I think some of these bushes are actually growing. That's good.
Can you see through the air?
Yeah,
Okay, it's not
for the
that
most
easy.
part. I can't see the sky, so I can't see like the moon or
Yeah.
like.
You can see the air now. Can that
Mars.
be? That's a
Oh, there we
positive
go.
spin on this.
Do you
can
see
actually
there? Do you see the
the
stuff in the air?
Oh my god!
Or is the air whatever it is
such
that
a
is when there's stuff in the air? Is that then the air part of the air?
You're right. I'm seeing the stuff in the air. Where I usually can just not see the stuff in the air.
But then is that stuff now air because it's in the air?
I'm breathing
Science
it.
talk.
I'm breathing it. Science talk.
Like when there's like smog, is the smog air? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
I actually don't know what the definition of air is.
Science talk.
We need that word database.
Oh, that'd be so great.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for going down that rabbit hole with me. So I think we figured it out.
Especially when you're thinking about it weeks in advance, and I just
No, I thought about this morning.
Tough.
Honestly,
I know it's still a little bit tough
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're like, oh,
Right.
quick, straighten out your thoughts.
Oh yeah, it is kind of tough for me to do that. But now we know we're getting the truth.
Sorry, I went
Here we do.
into the mic.
All right. So part 1 is over. Let's go part 2.
Go
Our
part
list.
2.
We got our list. So we're going to talk about remakes, movie remakes. I have a question for you. When you ever,
boy.
can you think of any times when you heard a remake was being made and you go, "Oh, cool, that's a good idea"?
Yes, but I can't think of any right now.
Okay,
but
maybe you
yes,
wanna
I
go through your
have.
list,
I
we'll see.
have.
It doesn't happen often for me.
I always have I'm always a little bit surprised when I start making these lists. Like this one, I thought like, oh, this will be kind of easy, right? So I went online because I can't bring things up in my mind as quickly as I used to.
Yep.
So first of all, mine are in alphabetical order, which is funny because that's how I looked them up. But I'm amazed how many remakes there are. Most of the movies we see are remakes. We just don't know it. There's there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them.
In theaters right now. At the Petaluma Theater, hundreds of remakes.
Anyway, but I was really surprised how many movies are actually remakes.
Okay, yeah.
And lots of them are remakes from other countries, but
Actually-
so is a lot of our TV, huh?
That's true. I picked a lot of things that I already knew were remakes, so I'm guessing there's some
Yeah.
movies I passed over.
Yeah,
because I
probably.
Oh,
I know. This is what made me come up with this, to think of this topic in the first place.
I'm ready.
I was at the movie the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Went and saw Mamma Mia 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's called 2 for a reason. It's a big number 2.
Hey,
Oh!
that wasn't a remake, though.
No, but it was I've seen the preview. But in the preview,
yeah.
so anyway, so I was never warned not to go see the second Mamma Mia movie. I'm here to warn you: don't go see that movie. Watch it on TV if you have to see it. It's so bad. Okay,
Can you watch it on like a phone?
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. That would be great.
All right, nice.
Cher's
I'm
in
not
it,
planning to
and
see
you go like, "Oh my God, Cher, you shouldn't have done that." It's like that kind of thing.
That's what the parts of the first one I thought that was Meryl Streep.
No, but it's like Cher's like a cutout, like a cutout that they're carrying around on it.
Oh,
Ooh, I can't even. It's just so bad. Okay, so
if Cher was in it, it probably would have been pretty good.
no. And by the way, it sounds like you're watching one thing, and then there's a soundtrack as the other thing.
nice.
They don't, even though they line up as far as their lips moving, they seem like there's no connection between what you're looking at and what you're hearing.
It's like they used to be. Nowadays with soundtracks to movies, it's more of like there's the score, and then sometimes there's just songs that they just put on the soundtrack that weren't in the movie. They just go, the reason to release something. But I feel like there are a lot of movies back in like the 80s and 90s where they had to have the song in the movie somewhere. So there are definitely times in the movie where you go, this song doesn't fit, That's why, because it's on the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a musical,
Right.
So that I
And they're all ABBA songs,
And
too.
the thing is, but most of them, like the first one, I knew all of them.
Right.
But that's not what I have a problem with. I mean, because
Right.
musicals are like that anyway. They're dorky and they're kind of dumb, and I love them. But this one is just. Anyway, so the preview that I saw during the previews. Do you want me to tell you what that was?
Yes.
Okay, so I was watching reviews, and there was I didn't know what it was. It was Bradley Cooper. He's directing and
Yep.
starring in it, and. He said a line. I went, "Oh, that's a line from
Oh yeah.
A Star Is Born."
Yep.
And they've had it in everyone. And the thing is, it almost feels like they're looking like, "Wait for it, there it is." Like
Have you
that.
seen the original?
I saw the original, and I saw the Barbra Streisand one.
Oh, Barbra Streisand one's not the original.
No, I think there's actually two before that, but I'm not.
Oh
certain.
wow.
Anyway, but I've seen the Barbra Streisand one and the original, and I liked them both. The Barbra Streisand one was really good when it came out, and I've seen it since, and it's like, ooh, it doesn't age well.
Yeah.
Partly because Barbra Streisand is, the more I see her, I know she's so vain that it kind of really takes out of the movie.
But doesn't she? Because like she's in comedies like Guilt Trip and stuff. Isn't she able to make fun of herself?
Oh, you're right.
Or
She
am I
is good
wrong?
in that, but not the way she looks.
Okay.
It's all about. But anyway,
Okay.
no, I like Barbra Streisand a lot. But in certain things, like Anyway, so I really liked the Chris Christopherson Barbra Streisand one, and they're making another one. That's the thing with Bradley Cooper.
And the trailer I've seen a couple times, it looks like well made to me,
Yeah,
and the way it's
yeah.
shot looks really nice.
Yeah.
I just don't have any interest in watching it.
Well, I will, because I've liked the other two so much that I probably will. And it looks like Bradley Cooper does his own singing, and
yeah, and Lady Gaga looks like she's probably.
oh,
good
that's
in it
right.
too.
That was the other thing. That
Yeah.
looks good too. So I will go see that.
I might now that I know you're convincing me.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I put my movies in categories.
Oh, I'll try to do that along with it then. So the first category was things I just saw the preview for the other day.
Nice. Movies you haven't seen. Well, I'll start with other. This category is one that doesn't fit in other ones for some reason. You'll see why. The 2014 RoboCop remake.
Huh.
This is basically, these aren't in order. These are just remakes, and then I'll kind of say if I like them or not.
Yeah.
That was kind of the way for me to do it. RoboCop 2014 was pretty good. Not as good as the original. It was all right.
Love the original. Maybe I should.
The original is great. This one is different. The original is more of a comedy kind of than I remember. The original has a lot of satire and stuff, and this new one I think has some of that, but it took itself more seriously.
Oh,
but it was still,
that's a good
it was
thing.
still fun.
Wait, you're saying the
Yeah.
remake takes itself more seriously?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's a different kind of tone and feel. I still enjoyed it, but it's not that memorable to me. I think they're making another one with the guy that did District 9, I think.
Oh,
Neil Blomkamp,
interesting.
I think.
Yeah.
Which could be really cool.
I want to have a comment to go with that. One of the things I thought about a lot of remakes I don't like, it's because they turn them into funny ones or silly ones.
Oh, yeah.
And see, that's for me. It's like they take a movie that's like a good, solid movie, and then they go, "Let's make it silly."
Like Stepford Wives.
Yes,
I only saw part of the remake.
the first movie is so good.
I haven't seen that. I read the
didn't-
book, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
their movies.
Yeah.
So that's my other category.
Okay.
How do you want to do this? Should we go back and forth?
Whatever you feel like. It's your show, man.
Let me do my one other category. This is one movie on it. This category is it a remake? I don't know. New Ghostbusters. It's a reboot, but it's not the same universe because you have the other Ghostbusters actors playing parts.
It was listed as a remake in the list because I haven't.
Okay. But then there's some people who say it's not. It's a reboot.
But it was on the
I don't
internet,
know.
so it's got to be true.
But it's like a different story and different characters. I don't know. But that movie, every time, not just every time I see it, but every time I think of that movie, I have a different opinion of it.
Which one? The remake?
Yeah.
Because
Because the original is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
And
The
then 1984 one.
Yeah.
The remake came out like
16.
3 years ago. 2 years ago.
I wrote it down.
I like it. Goes from out of 10, it goes everywhere from a 4 to a 7.
Yeah, I should see it again. Mine goes from like a 6 to a 9.
Oh.
So I should probably, but I've only seen it once.
All right. I've seen it 3 times. It's got some funny stuff.
I like the characters.
Yeah, me too. All right.
Yeah.
What you got on yours? So you said alphabetical?
Yeah, but I'm looking at that differently.
Do you want me to do categories and see if you can fit things in those?
Sure.
I've got 3 movies in my remakes of a foreign film that I've seen. I'm only picking movies I saw.
Yeah.
But I did these 3 movies. I have not seen. This is the problem. A lot of these movies I have not seen the original. which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But I realized that's just kind of how it was.
Yeah.
So remake of a foreign film. These are movies that two of them I didn't know were remakes when I saw them.
That's what I'm saying.
The Birdcage.
That's on here because
Nice.
I love both of them.
Okay, did you see the original first?
Yes.
Oh, it's called La Cage aux Folles.
La Cage aux Folles.
Thank you.
Or something like that.
1987 is like
Which era
French
was here?
Italian French, I think. French Italian.
I don't know.
Then Birdcage 1996 with Ron Williams, Gene Hackman, and
Oh, there were a lot of people
Frank
in there.
Azaria.
Yeah, there were a
I feel
lot
bad. I
of
can't
people
remember any of the
here,
women in
and,
the movie.
I don't know their names. Is the thing. I know who they are.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it was the first one was really funny and good, and I thought the second one was sensitive and funny. They're both sensitive, funny, and, and I like them both.
I liked the remake a lot. I remember I saw it in theaters. 96. I was 11, and I went with you and I think Kristen
You
Stewart.
saw it then?
Yeah, in theaters. With you, Kristen Stewart. We went. Remember, I went. I think it might have been rated R. I'm not sure. Maybe PG-13, but it had some adult stuff.
Yeah, it was probably 13. Though.
But went there, and I remember waiting for the movie was in the lobby. Then a friend of mine was there with his mom, and like, "Oh, you seen Sergeant Bilko also?" We're like, "Oh, seen the Birdcage," and she went, "Oh, okay." And then I was just like, I didn't think of anything. Then later, I was like, "Oh, I guess she probably thought I was too young for that."
Yeah, but I think some
whatever.
people. I think that might be. I'm trying to think of what that would be. Maybe it's the gay thing.
Maybe I think they.
But I
I
don't
think they
think
might
there was
say the
any-
F word in it. I'm not sure. There's some. There's like sexual
there were
jokes
so
and
many
stuff.
movies, but the thing is, they're not. They're so. They're kind of. These are both silly movies.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
feel like
I'm
the
not saying I shouldn't
remake
have seen it or
being
anything like
silly,
that.
So.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I shouldn't have seen it or anything like that. I think I was totally mature enough and stuff and ready to see it. I'm sure there's some jokes I didn't get, but there was nothing that I felt was weird when I was watching it.
I think the reason I like this remake is you see the reason they made it because the first movie was so popular, so they made it.
I didn't
English.
even know that
Made
there
it in
was
English.
a-
That's the thing. And oh boy, it's funny when I saw the first one and it was in French, and with reading the subtitles. By the end of the movie, I thought I spoke French.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they did such a good job. Anyway,
Remake of foreign film also The Departed, which was a remake of the Hong Kong movie Infernal Affairs, not Internal. I always thought Internal until today. Infernal Affairs. Have you seen The Departed?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
It was good. It was one of those that won, I think, like best movie.
Oh,
and,
is
like,
that the
people
one?
loved
Oh,
it.
I do. Is that the one in Hawaii? Nope, that's a
I
different
don't
one.
think
I
so.
don't know what
It's
it is.
got
No, I don't
Leonardo
know.
DiCaprio, Matt Damon,
Nope,
Jack
don't know it.
Nicholson, Alec Baldwin,
Don't know it.
Mark Wahlberg. It's just got all these big names. There's a drama. It was good. I think Scorsese might have directed it.
Always guess if you don't know.
2006. Yeah. And then one more remake of foreign film, Bang Bang, which is a Bollywood movie. They made a Bollywood remake of Night and Day, the Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz action comedy. And they took that movie and then they made a Bollywood movie. And Bollywood movies, a lot of times, the big blockbuster ones are over the top ridiculous on purpose. And they did a good job with this one.
Are the Bollywood movies always musicals?
Usually,
Or
I
at
think
least
I
they
think
have
the
big
ones
dance
that
scenes or
like I
something.
think the ones that are pretty much get released in the U.S. I think almost always
Is that one?
have musical numbers. Yeah, it has like 4 musical numbers, something like that. And it's a fun movie. Bang 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 is fun.
Yeah, I remember that one being out.
Those are all my remakes of foreign films in mind. Some of my other ones are because some of the categories intersect, but
I think
Yeah.
a lot of the movies we just take for granted as being American movies are remakes
Yeah.
of foreign films.
do you have any others on your set? Or like
Not
that?
our foreign. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Although imagine, I feel like Cape Fear was one of those that I put on mine for a remake.
Oh yeah,
62 and 91.
I think
and,
62 is American.
But I'm thinking there's might have been it felt like
Okay.
it was there might have been one that
Right.
was called Cape Capri or something.
I've never seen it.
Anyway, I like them both very much.
The remake
the
looked
first
too
one
scary for me.
is so much better.
Okay.
It's partly because the second one, so often when they have bad guys, they give them superhero. I mean, they
Okay,
give
yeah.
them like that. They just can do
Yeah.
anything, and it just takes away from the realism, which
Yep.
makes it takes away from the scary for me. Because unless it's a movie that's about supernatural stuff, the bad guy should be actually human. you
Yeah,
know?
that reminds. When I have nightmares, I notice that the bad guy. You never know if they're dead in my nightmares, and it sucks because they could be like horrible things. Like no one could survive that. And then in my nightmare, my brain goes like, well, maybe they did, and I can never close the door on that. It's horrible.
Anyway, Cape Fear, I like them both.
Okay, is the new one scary? The Robert De Niro?
Yes, yeah, but it's forced.
Okay.
Whereas the first one's just like, oh, that bad guy's doing some bad stuff. The second one is like, oh, look at that going like, oh, look around the corner, it's gonna get you, like that. Yeah,
I like some of that in my horror movies. All right, next category for me.
But this wasn't really supposed to be a horror movie originally. It's just supposed to be a movie that's intense and scary. You know.
Okay, that wasn't Hitchcock, was it?
I don't think so.
Right. Next category. Disney movies, animated movies that they made the live action, which is a kind of a recent-ish thing. Yeah. Beauty and the Beast, new one. It was fine.
Never saw it.
Jungle Book, new one. I liked it. 101 Dalmatians, 1996. You saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember liking when I saw it. I was 11. I probably saw double feature with Birdcage, probably. Yeah, I haven't watched it since then, but I think I liked it.
Candy.
Yeah. Yeah, all those I think were probably based on other books and stuff too, but they're basically remakes of the Disney animated movie. Yeah. Yep. Do you have any of those?
No, I don't.
All right. Then I got 3 based on books. These are based on books and they're kind of remakes of other movies, but it's weird. I'm not sure if they're remakes of the movies necessarily or they're just another adaptation of the book. But there's like Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's a 2005 one, 1971. The 2005 one, the story differs from the 1971 one a little bit, but still I think a lot of people consider it a remake because people know. I mean, they're both just based on the book. New one was fine. A lot of these movies are just like, they're fine. Murder on the Orient Express, which is on the Agatha Christie book that came out in 1934. I saw the 2017 version of the movie that Kenneth Branagh did, which I really enjoyed. I think a lot of the reviews were it's fine, but Ariel and I really liked it.
I feel like I saw that movie in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, there was one then too.
70s.
So this one is
I remember enjoying it very much.
Right. So like, I don't know if you could say this is a remake of that movie or just an adaptation of the book.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it though.
But the new, because I didn't know the story at all or anything, so So I enjoyed the new one a lot. It was one that was just the whole time I was entertained. I'm like, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know who did it. That kind of thing, and just well casted and and also How the Grinch Stole Christmas, because they did the Jim Carrey one, the live action in 2000, and then people know the book, the Dr. Seuss book, but also the animated movie, TV movie that's like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, TV show.
So would you say the new movie is a remake of that, or would you say it's probably just another adaptation of the book, isn't it?
It really seems like the TV show. What do you say new? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
The Jim Carrey
The new
one.
one, yeah, Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there's no one coming out later that, I think it looks horrible.
So I thought the Jim Carrey one was a movie made from the TV show. I thought it was.
So you're saying but the TV show I think is
it's very close to the book,
but it's I think that's considered a movie.
No, it's
maybe
just a TV special, Christmas
TV special, but it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But
I see what you're saying.
Could you say it's a remake of that?
Oh, I would say it's a remake. Sure, like it made a movie out of it. Remade a movie out of the TV show.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, and again.
Besides that, we don't have any rules written down in here, do
right?
We? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. The Willy Wonka, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I like the first one a lot more. I was gonna say Gene Wilder. And the Grinch, Dr. Seuss, I like the animated one a lot more than the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah. Here's the thing I'm realizing is, I don't know if it's my age or the time I have to do it, but I don't watch many remakes of movies I really like.
Right.
But if the original seemed kind of thin to me, then I liked it. Then I like to see remakes. Like, what have they done with it? How do they enhance it and enrich it?
Yeah,
but they usually don't. They just make them silly so often.
Yeah, I'm usually, if it's a movie I really like a lot, I'm curious.
Yeah,
or if it's really popular or something like that. Just still.
Well, I still haven't seen the Chocolate Factory one. I think it's because the first movie to me is perfect.
The first one is perfect. The new one was better than I thought, because I thought it was going to be horrible, but it's again very forgetful, but the things I remember are forgettable. But yeah, but the things
I wasn't trying to correct you. I just want to make sure that's what you meant.
The things I remember from it though are the things I thought were done poorly. But I still remember after seeing it going, that was better than I thought it would be. So the next category, do you have any more that are like book adaptations?
Probably, but not. That's not how I see them.
Okay.
Oh wait, yes, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with The Shining.
Okay,
and I
yeah.
just another one of these that's it's not officially a movie remake, but
Right.
anyway. So there's The Shining, the Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
one, which I didn't care for that much. I understand it, and I thought it looked cool, and it was kind of thrilling and exciting, and but to me it was just like too much. Just like let's hit you over the head with how scary.
And
it is,
it's not.
It's not.
It doesn't stay true to the book really at all, does it?
That's not important if I didn't read the book anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
But-
read the book before seeing that?
No.
Okay. 'Cause
But there's the TV. They call it a movie, and they had it in the remake list. It's the one with
Steven Weber.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
And that's one Stephen King is more involved with than I think.
And it
Half Your
follows the book more. And the thing is, when you read a lot of Stephen King, then if you see a movie or a show that's from one of, you can feel it. You can feel his touch on it, and I like his. It's more subtle and it's just more psychological,
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy it. So the TV, I think it's 6 hours. It's like 3 2-hour episodes. I really like it a lot. And it's like it's a
I still
lot. It's
watch
not
that.
it's not so much hit you in the face though. It's just
Right.
I like it. You might even be bored. I don't know. I like it a lot.
I should watch it.
Stephen Weber's good in it too.
I think I read some of the book, but it was one of those times where I'd be like, I'm gonna read this book, and I'd get 20 pages in, and I'd be like, this is too much work. Then I saw
As
the
a matter
Jack
of fact,
Nicholson one.
excuse me, I think that they did it in the hotel that he read,
Right, I think so.
where he wrote it, so that helped too.
Yeah, that is in northern Utah.
No, it's
Colorado?
real yeah, it's up Estes.
Yes, that's it.
Estes.
Ariel's birth mom, Andrea. I think
Yeah.
Ariel got her as a gift, like a stay at that hotel for a few nights a while ago, a couple years ago.
Ariel would be afraid to stay there, wouldn't she?
Is that one? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's the place in Napa, I think, like Napa River Inn. People consider it one of the most haunted hotels. I really want to stay there, but it's really expensive.
Yeah.
And it's so close. I would go there. It would. Yeah, I want to go there, but I'd have to stay in the room that is considered the haunted room, and that one probably is the toughest one to get, I'm guessing. And I think it's like $3
But
a
if you
night or
got
something
scared
like
to
that.
death, you could flee in the middle of the night and go right home and go
That's
sleep
true.
without really losing much time.
You can go jump into the river and swim home.
That's right.
Yep.
It's a fact.
Speaking of, so The Shining leads me to the next category, which is horror movies.
I have a few of those.
I have a lot of those, and I think one of the reasons that I see so many of these is I go, older horror movies don't really scare me. Ooh, let's see if they can take this idea, which I think is good, and do it in a cool new way with modern filming techniques and better acting. A lot of people see it the other way, where they go, oh, now the original is the way to go, and then these new ones have cheesy acting, which happens sometimes. And also, a lot of these horror movies, there's so many remakes of horror movies. Do you think it's because they're super cheap to make?
Well, I think it's people go to them.
Yeah. But I have a lot in that list. One is Fright Night, 1985 horror, kind of silly.
Have you seen both of these?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of these I've seen both. Fright Night, the original 1985 one, is really fun. I like it because of the kind of very 80s campiness, kind of unintentionally funny at times parts, but it also, I think it's supposed to be funny in parts too. I'm not quite sure. It's one of those where there are certain things I'm like, that's supposed to be funny or not, I don't know. So it's fun to watch. The new one is like they just put jokes in it but it's still different enough, and it wasn't bad. It was fine.
I realize I only put things on my list that I've seen both.
Oh, really?
But I
That's
realize that part of that is because I've lived twice as long as you. I've had time. I've had the opportunity to see them both.
Well, also a lot of the older ones are like, some of the older ones came out when you were alive and when you were younger. So when you saw them for the first time, they weren't old movies.
And well, some of them actually were, but that was back when TVs had 3 channels, and so if on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and late at night, I love watching the old ones, and so lots of those scary ones were remade like that. Yeah.
And now there's so many movies to choose from. I'm like, I'll probably pick a newer movie.
Yeah, it's
to watch
almost
than
like
an old
when
one.
you go through the list, you just skip over movies you want to see because there might be one you want to see more.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, good, there's a movie on, let's see if it's any good,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I used to do.
I'm going to go through some of mine kind of quickly. Let Me In, which is a remake of the Swedish movie Let the Right One In. That was good. It's when those people say the original's better. I'm like, but I've seen the new one already, and I already know the story. It's probably not that much better because I really like the new one. I'm like, should I watch it? And then this is one that I'm guessing is on yours. It.
Nope.
Oh, because the miniseries. Again, this is a film adaptation thing where there's the miniseries that came out. And do you want to guess what year the miniseries came out?
Yes, I do want to guess.
All right. You have 7 minutes to guess.
82.
1990,
Wow,
according to the
wow,
internet,
wow.
Wikipedia.
Love that, by the way.
I liked it.
It doesn't necessarily age well, but I loved it.
And the new one, 2017, which I loved and you did
too.
not like.
No, I was hoping for the second half of it.
Okay.
So I left,
Disappointed.
half full.
I think they're making that now.
They are, but I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And my
I
favorite
wasn't-
part is the grown-up part
Right.
anyway, so that's why I was sad.
That was when I feel like I haven't watched a miniseries in a while, so I don't know how it holds up, like you said.
And
Right.
the thing is, too, and that was, talk about pop culture, those were all TV stars at the time playing those parts, but I didn't feel like I was watching the TV characters that they do and other things. So it was fun having the actors that
Right.
we all knew and playing different characters and being scary when they're usually funny and stuff.
I have a few here where the original horror movie, which I've seen for some, these are pretty good, but they're kind of old and they don't scare me anymore. But the newer ones, I feel like they actually did it in a way where it actually did scare me. So I'm happy at a lot of these. I'm happy I saw the remake first, so I didn't know the story. Amityville Horror.
That's on my list. I love both of those.
Yeah. The first one, because I saw the remake, the 2005 one first, and I saw 1979. So the 1979 one was kind of boring for me, probably because it's older and because I already knew.
You do have a little bit of a problem with older things,
Yes,
too. I read the book originally, and that was
Okay.
it was touted as a true story,
Yeah, and
which
then-
made it even better.
And then like the authors were like, yeah, we were told to make stuff up.
So I saw that movie and I loved it, and I watched the remake thinking, it took me a couple tries because I was too scared at first.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, as it started, but then I enjoyed it.
I think I saw it in theaters. I really enjoyed it. Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds,
Reynolds was
really
great
good.
in it, yeah.
And that same kind of thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I saw the remake first, loved it, thought it was really scary. I still think it's really good. And I saw the original. And then the first time I saw the original 1974 version, I thought, oh, this is so bad and boring. And then I read a book about the making of it, and now when I watch it, I appreciate it more. And I go like, oh, for the time, this is actually pretty darn cool and creepy and weird. Have you seen both of them?
Yeah, but I was talking about that at home before I came here, and I don't. I get them too mixed up.
Okay.
Because I couldn't include in my list.
That's where I feel like they actually just the more advanced film making techniques and stuff actually
But
makes
with
it
the older
more
ones,
effective.
sometimes what they do is they just make it darker, so it's more scary.
right. And the older one, a lot
Because you can't see it coming.
yeah, the older one, like I think a lot of people, one of the reasons that people stuck with so many people made such an impression is because it almost feels like a snuff film because there's a lot of stuff they did that
Well, and it was a
looks
new
real
thing.
because
It was a new thing then. I mean, they weren't. They just the horror movies were still Vincent Pricey before that came out.
and this was just supposed to be realistic, and there were some of the stunts and stuff they did were very close to what you actually saw. They like people weren't abused and stuff. Actually, there were a few things where some actors were pushed. In hindsight, or they look back and go, "Oh yeah, I was pushed further than I should have. They shouldn't have let me do that kind of thing, or they shouldn't have done that to me." But, and then another one that this is the other way around. Halloween, I like the 1978, the original, more than the Rob Zombie one. I do like both a lot though, very different. We only have a few minutes left. Sorry. So I've been talking a lot. What about you?
The Fly. I loved both of them. The original Vincent Price back in '58. One of my favorite movies. A kid, one of those Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, creature features, the creature features thing. Loved that movie. And then I really liked the remake too.
I like the remake. I haven't seen the original. I forgot about that.
Wait, there was another. Oh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That was in 1956. I didn't see that new. I saw it on TV. Creature features probably in the 60s and 70s. and then the remake in 78. But well, here's the thing that I have a fun thing that went with that is I love that that movie. I call it a TV movie because that's where I saw it. And then the new one came out, and I went and saw it by myself in Sausalito because it wasn't playing very many places. And so I went down to Sausalito to watch it. And the cool thing was it took place in Sausalito.
Yeah.
And so that was leaving the movie theater, even though the movie wasn't terribly scary because it's just it's fun thriller movie, is that leaving, you're wondering the people, especially because it was in the same town. You're wondering,
that's really cool.
Are any of these people actually body snatchers?
Yep. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any other movies?
Yeah, I have Miracle on 34th Street, which there's a whole bunch of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually like the 94 remake best of all, which is funny to me.
I enjoyed that a lot. Ariel likes the old black and white one a lot more.
Elizabeth Perkins is always great in that. Little Mara Wilson was great in it. Another one is A Great Gatsby.
Thanks for using their full name, Little Mara Wilson, by the way.
I know.
Sorry, Great Gatsby. Oh, yeah.
Great Gatsby. I like the Robert Redford one, 74, very much.
Did you see the newer one?
Yeah, and I saw the new one. I like it too.
I like the new one. The first one we had to watch in school, so I was really bored. The new one, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
It was a little bit Hollywoody for me, but
it was very Hollywood. But I think that was kind of
the first one had more of that Robert Redford subtleness that I enjoyed.
And this one
I
feel like was not trying to be subtle. The new one, I feel like it was trying to be very Hollywoody.
Yeah,
glamorous.
Which was Gatsby-ish, but to me it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then Father of the Bride, there's a 1950 with Spencer Tracy, and then there's a 91, which I like them both very much. I like the remake a lot, even though they made it silly, but it's Martin Short silly, so it's going to be okay.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
But Martin Short was a silly
sorry. We have 10 seconds.
Christmas Carol, and then Scrooge. I like Scrooged a lot, even though it's not the same movie. I really love
But that's really good. All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry to rush you at the end. I talked a lot. Headphones are already off.
Politics, right?
Yep. That was what you're about to hear in just a second. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You can follow my Instagram and Twitter at Phil and Ariel to find out about the shows. Please stick around for your Full Circle sessions with DJ Saeed. Bye, everybody.